Right now I'm gonna go ahead and send you this macro list, and then so it's easier. I'm gonna also send you a video that shows you how to do it. But to me, it's easier to put them in on that home screen when they got you loaded up in front of your car in the apartment or whatever. At the very bottom, there's three squares at the bottom. You can add your macros from down there, and it's easier because you're not like in game. But I'm gonna send it over, and you can, do it however you feel like.
Okay, thank you.
And then I can just wait here till you get them done. Then when you're done, I'm gonna ask you to throw them up slowly so you don't get banned. So, okay, here's the thing. I don't know if you're doing Apple or Android. I'm doing Android, and it was exceedingly difficult to copy and paste them. It was easier to just type them in. But Nice Guy says with
I
Apple,
just seen that.
who talking to me? Hey,
Hi.
Jermaine. But Nice Guy says if you have Apple, you can like do like the multi-window thing where you don't have to completely leave the server. You know, when you got the multiple windows popped up and you can still see them a little bit without clicking on them.
Just seen that. I wanna ask you for a favor.
Well, I can see what I can do.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna type it out for you now so you can check it. Maybe you can help me out with it.
Okay. I have no problem doing that with you at all. However, right now is not a good time because there's not a lot of people online. So the chances of actually coming across a CPR is slim. Like we'll basically end up just riding around hoping we get one.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Absolutely. Let like another 100 or so people get online and then we can go.
Okay, okay. Can I add you as my friend so I'm going to need you later so you can put me through?
Absolutely.
Okay. Bye. Thank you. Talk to you later.
Absolutely. See you later. I know you're typing in on those macros and you're good. What I'm also going to do when you let me know you're done, I'm going to send you a copy of the MD rules so we can go over those together as well. Okay, I'm going to throw a macro check in the chat, and when you see that, slowly start throwing them up. All right, let me send you over the MD rules. Okay, so I sent those over, but I'm gonna try to quickly go over them with you, and then you can look them over whenever you're questioning anything or you're uncertain. So we got MD1, refusal to provide medical assistance. We are supposed to treat everyone the same. We are supposed to handle all patients the same. Now, we do ask patients to put their guns up in order to be served because we're a hospital, we're a passive faction. We don't like all the rah rah. We're here to heal and protect, you know? The only other ways you can get around it is doing a turf war, or active shoot off, or a standoff. In those situations, we do not provide any medical service at all whatsoever. Like I said, we're peaceful. It has to be a peaceful scene in order for us to heal. We can't try to save people and dodge bullets at the same time, you know? Firearm usage. Use of firearms by medical staff is prohibited, and the punishment for that is dismissal from faction. We cannot be seen with a gun out at any time, as well as being around gang members, which I'm going to touch on in a second. Adherence to project rules. Medical faction members must follow all established faction rules. That is MD3. And the punishment for that is one warning to one reprimand. MD4, use of official vehicles for personal activities. We cannot use medical cars to do our tasks, to check into our business, to go to events. It was one guy took an ambulance to a military event, I think it was, and it was like, no, don't do that. If you need a ride, throw it up in chat, and someone will pick you up. You're fine. Um, and the punishment for that is one warning. MD5, issuing med kits outside the hospital is forbidden. The only way around that is if you're on a CPR run and your patient asks you for a kit. Only your patient. No other person can ask you for a med kit or pills. MD6, medical actions during a dangerous situation. Like I said, we cannot be in threatening situations such as firefights, gang fights, shootouts, standoff with police. It's just not a safe thing to do. And one punishment for that is one warning. MD7, gang association and criminal activity, like I was touching on earlier, that will also get you dismissed from a faction. The only thing that you can do with a gang member is purchase a car, but you would have to drive your own vehicle to the place, meet them, buy the car, drive off immediately. Like, that's it, that's all. Disrespectful conduct towards colleagues, MD8. We're passive faction. Um, Lower colors just have to answer to the subordinates. That's just how it goes. Chain of command, and it's a reason. We're not just gonna be like extra and just tell you and ask you to do stuff just because we have the power. It's not like that. It's a reason if we ask you. MD9, non-compliance with orders. Touching on MD8, failing to follow orders and observe rank to the subordination. Punishment is one reprimand. The punishment for MD8 is a reprimand or dismissal based on a faction leadership decision. So they kind of both go together depending on the situation. MD10, proper roleplay conduct. Medical personnel must roleplay their duties appropriately, including interactions, dialogue, etc. Checking surroundings during emergencies. One warning. So, if you was to go to a CPR scene and you just run out to start healing people, you now looking around, making sure it's safe, asking for permission to treat the person, because sometimes they don't want us to treat them, and then we get out thinking it's okay, and then now we back at HP real quick because we just got shot up. Punishment for that is one warning. MD12, improper use of tasers. As you rank up, I think around blue scrub, you get a taser. Attacking civilians with a taser, physical force, or a weapon without a RP reason is strictly prohibited, and it will get you dismissed from the faction quickly. Okay, a lot of these other people, they love to snitch on us because they know we got a safe job, and they love to get us fired because they out there in the streets. So protect yourself. If you gonna do taser, you got the taser macro, and then you got the I had to use my taser to get away macro, and couple those with the body cam on, and make sure you're screen recording in those situations just to make sure you're safe. Okay. Then we got RP16, criminal acts against emergency personnel and criminal acts towards emergency medical personnel are prohibited, and the ugh, and the punishment for that is 90 minutes in one state jail to a 12-hour ban. Again, we're passive. We are not allowed to get hurt and shot and ran over. That is not okay because we go through all of these MD rules to keep ourselves in tune with the faction. So we should not be in those situations. Okay? Now I know I went over those pretty quickly. Do you have any questions? Okay, one more thing I want to touch on is some tips while you're in the game to help the game be a more smoother play. One of our faction rules: do not use the front door. The front door and front parking lot are off limits. We cannot be seen out there. We cannot go out there. We cannot come in from out there for any reason at all. If you are in a firefight situation and everything calms down and we go to heal people, PD and Army, if they're on scene, they get first go. Okay? They go first over any civilian, over any gang member. PD and Army goes first. I don't know if you know, but you can rank up every 2 days before you turn into a brown scrub. So you get your grind on, girl. You gonna rise and shine, okay? And if you have a lot of pills before you rank up, like if it's a pill event or if you just have like 40, 50 pills, sell those before you rank up. Because when you rank up, you're going to have zero. You're not going to have a single pill. Okay? If a player walks up to the counter on floor 1 and has a gun, ask them at least one time, either through mic or in chat, to put the gun down. And if they keep persistent, just make the sale, get them out the door. We just want them in and out, in and out. Okay. When you're doing med deliveries, when the screen pops up, yes ma'am, yes ma'am. When you're doing med deliveries and the screen, I'm literally almost done. I'm going so fast. When you're doing med deliveries and the screen pops up and you've ranked up enough for an upgraded delivery vehicle, check the bottom row. There's 3 tabs down there. I think it says standard, premium, and pro. When you get around, I think white or blue, you should be able to be eligible for premium. Then when you turn burgundy, you will be a pro. If you're stuck on a med run in your vehicle and you cannot move your vehicle, do /help, explain that you are on a med delivery and that you are stuck, and a helper bot will come to either fix the car or teleport you into a more smoother terrain. CPRs, you have to go with at least 2 people, at least a brown scrub or higher. And when you are with them, only one person needs to be on macros. You have all the macros you need. If you choose to, oh guys, I want to do macros so I can get the hang of it. Awesome. Wonderful. If somebody else choose to do it, then you lay off. And, we just don't want it clustering the chat with a bunch of the same thing over and over again, I know your business is on the up and up. As you are upgrading your business, before you start completing tasks, you have some options. You can change those options on the right hand side of your contracts. You get a few free changes, then it goes up to like 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 8,000, but you're going for a red color. You want those contracts to change either Purple, gold, or red. Those are the colors you're going for, but you're really going for the red because it's going to give you the most BXP and the most money for completing those contracts. AFK. AFK is a no. The punishment for AFK is one reprimand to a 3-day ban, and AFK is our terminology for away from keyboard. If you're caught away from the keyboard longer than 8 minutes, people body cams are going to start coming on, and if you're away for 8 minutes longer than that, then some things are going to start happening. Okay, and we don't want that. Like I said, that's a one reprimand to a 3-day ban on that. And our faction is 18 plus. Everybody has to be at least 18 years or older to be in our faction, as well as to be a part of Discord. Yeah. Any questions now? All right. Well, that's all I have for you. Matter of fact, let me give you some money. You've done awesome. I appreciate your time and have a wonderful day. Save some people.